Hello, hello. This is Week by Week. I'm Celeste, and I'm 37 and 38 weeks pregnant. We're here. These are the final 2 updates before I go in and have my baby. Oh my gosh, we did it. It's wild. I'm not going to say that it flew by, but it also feels so surreal. I mentioned it last week, but just to pick up where we left off, I'm still going into my OBGYN once a week and then also the high-risk clinic once a week. But so far, luckily, everything's looking good. I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you so much to everyone who has listened during this journey. Talking to these wonderful guests and sharing this experience with anybody listening has been such an amazing experience, and I am so thankful for you. So I just wanted to take a moment to share my gratitude. Well, I will let the update take it from here. Let's do this. "37 weeks pregnant." Woohoo!
Woohoo! Yeah, well, good job. Almost there. Well, that's darn awesome.
We really wanted to get to week 37.
We did.
That was a big deal for us because week 37, we are in a new phase of the pregnancy. I think I've read a couple different places, like this technically reaches full term, and then I've read that it actually qualifies as early term, but it means that we are in a much safer zone, that if he were to come anytime from here on out, we can rest a little easier. And so,
just a quick sidebar,
Yeah.
all these books and websites, let's just get together and decide on some of these things and just like, this is what it is.
Make some big decisions
37
here.
weeks is early term or full term. Just decide, because the variety of it is not great for people that are in the process and don't know how to think about it. And then they're like, how should I think about it? And then there's no way to really think about it.
It is a little confusing. And so all I know is that I'm very, very happy that we are entering this new phase of the pregnancy.
Agreed.
This week, we interviewed a pediatrician, not for the podcast, for our own personal interview reasons.
For our own personal son.
For our own personal son, featured in the future on this podcast.
Yes, featured personal son.
And we actually had a really good experience with that. We found our pediatrician through a referral from our OBGYN, and she really recommended the whole practice. And then we zeroed in on the one that we felt spoke to us the most. And then we were able to set up an online consultation. And so we did that this week and had like a video session for a half an hour where we were able to just ask her all of our questions and
get as much of a sense as we could over Zoom of her
energy. And something she said that I really liked is the intention for her and for that office. I think for most pediatricians, but I did like the way she spotlighted it in particular, is that you're hopefully picking somebody who you're going to go through years and years and years with. And she's going to really be able to see him grow and develop over many, many years. So a big relationship to potentially invest in.
Yeah.
But we felt really comfortable and good with her. And she had a nice kind of balance of mellow, but also really informed. And so I really appreciated that. When we had the interview with her, she really front loaded, because I'm sure they get a lot of the same questions. So we really got covered, like, who's on call? What does it look like to contact people after hours? If you can't get a hold of someone immediately, what is that protocol? So all of that was good, and just kind of general childcare philosophy and things like that. But I did find it helpful to read through some of these questions ahead of time just to frame it and feel like we were being diligent.
Yeah, we had about 10 or 12 questions, and she answered probably 9 of them without us even needing to ask them.
Highlight it.
Yeah.
And it was good. I liked her mentality that she really is there to help guide us, not in terms of like parenting style necessarily, but in terms of like, he's ready to start sleep training. He's ready for solid foods, and then give us a lot of information so we can make informed parenting choices, and then also highlight what's about to be coming our way so we can also prepare for the next steps of development. So I think the way that she kind of outlined that is really, really up our alley.
Absolutely. Being proactive in that way.
Without feeling like it's totally impersonal, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah. She had a sparkle in her eye and a twinkle in her smile, and then also was incredibly experienced and has 3 kids.
Yes, a great combination for a pediatrician.
Yeah.
So let's jump into a couple of these updates.
All right, baby stats. Baby is about 19 inches long, weighs about 6.5 pounds, which we're close to or right at, which is great.
Little quick jump in. We obviously had our 2 appointments this week, and development, movement, blood flow, fluid, everything looked really encouraging. We're still monitoring it, obviously, but the non-stress tests were all really positive in results, and the ultrasounds, they were really upbeat about. So, yay!
The doctor said that you have a happy baby. The amount of movement that he had is a good sign of fetal well-being.
Yes, we took both of those on as big
wins.
Big wins, thank you.
This book says the baby is around the size of a head of romaine lettuce.
An alt fruit for you would be the size of a canary melon.
Which, never heard of that. So if you want to give us a reference we've never heard of before, that's already something pretty abstract, you did great, website. Who the hell has ever heard of a canary melon?
This guy has some hot takes on melons, let me tell you.
I'm a melon head.
You do love melons.
Here we go in this book, to what we were speaking to earlier. Baby is now considered term and is ready for life on the outside.
Which is interesting, because then if you go to this website, it says he'd still be early term, but will be full term by 39 weeks. So this is what we're saying about this kind of confusion.
Yep. The book says he would be ready for life on the outside. Over the next few weeks, the baby's lungs will continue to mature and gain weight.
One little thing from the website that I do think is very cute and worth mentioning, it says that baby has developed more dexterity in his fingers, and he can now grasp onto smaller objects like toes and his nose.
Toes and nose.
Toes and nose. Well, there we go, Miss Minnesota.
I know. I was going to say that's kind of like teed up for a Minnesota accent. Oh, his little toes and nose.
Toes and nose. Getting back to my roots.
Toes and nose, you know.
Toes and nose, you know. Wait, that is hard. I was like,
hey, we just stumbled on a tongue twister.
I got cocky over here. I was like, this funny guy, he's tripping over his words over here. On a personal note, we have our bags ready. We have our plan of, a list of what we want to make sure we have before we walk out the door. We have talked about birth plan and talked over some of that with all of it, I guess, at this point, with our doctor as well. And guys, we buried the lead. Let me tell you that. We have an induction date.
Yeah.
This week we got confirmation of our induction date. So in about a week, we will be having our baby. Wow. If you want a full jolt of adrenaline, pick an induction date and get that confirmed, because I think both of us had some real moments of kind of wide-eyed anticipation this past week.
The adrenaline has been on full blast.
Yes.
Or near full blast. Kind of a little bit of a mind screw, because it's like, wait, so it could be any time before that, but then it's definitely that day. I don't know. It just puts this end time on it, because we've also had friends that have gone. I know a lot of people that have gone
almost
a week, 2 weeks after their due date, and that's not happening for us.
No.
So it's just another kind of expectations reset.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it crystallizes things in a different way. So, I'm definitely excited, but I'm getting a little anxious even. And not anxious, but anticipatory talking about it, because it's big. And a lot of things that I've been thinking about are just not only the most important thing of how do we keep him safe, and then how do we keep me safe, and, keeping Dave safe, because we're going in during COVID, but also now it's like, ooh, I don't know how the pain is going to be and how long it's going to take. And these are not new thoughts, but I can picture it more clearly, because I can feel it. Like you said, I can know the day that it potentially will be happening.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, 2 more things. One more thing. 2 more things.
One more
thing. So he's getting lower and lower, which is great. But also this week, we finally checked for dilation. And great news, I am about 2 centimeters dilated. So I'm having contractions. I've been having some painful contractions at night. As I mentioned last week, lost my mucus plug. And my doctor thinks it potentially had my bloody show. And now I am 2 centimeters dilated, which feels great because it means we are on the right track. So more to come.
Getting exciting.
Getting exciting.
I love
I love you too. Hi, everyone. Just popping in to say if you're enjoying this episode, please subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, and follow us on Instagram at Week by Week Podcast. And something very exciting, this week we are launching the Week by Week blog. I can't wait to share it with you. So check out weekbyweekpodcast.com. And we are here. I honestly can't believe it. Week 38. This is the last update before I go in tomorrow to give birth. Oh my gosh, I'm starting to get a little choked up. I'm so excited and nervous and jittery, and I feel like I have so much to do, but also feel like everything is done, but can't wrap my mind around what tomorrow's gonna be. And more than anything, I cannot wait to meet my baby. But I'll let this update do the rest of the talking. So here we go. 38 weeks pregnant. Woo, and he just gave me a little nudge.
Baby.
This week is the week that I'm going to be induced. So
In fact,
I'm getting induced tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning we go in. We're recording this in the evening.
So on week 38 and 6 days, we are getting induced. So this is our last update for pregnancy of this pregnancy. So I guess I wanted to take a minute just to talk really candidly about how you're feeling. Because I know I've had such a weird day and weekend and so much anticipation. I woke up this morning and looked at my phone and looked at the time and was like, I think the first thing I said to you was like, we will be at the hospital at this time tomorrow. And I've had a lot of excitement and then a lot of nervousness and just a lot of feelings. I felt like I've definitely needed to snuggle up with you a couple times and get some reassurance and connection. So that's a little bit, I guess, as an entry point into my experience right now. How are you doing?
I'm just like nonstop adrenaline rush. And I'm excited, like very excited, nervous in a good way. Getting that kind of like hum in my head of just like so much anticipation and being happy and overwhelmed in a good way. And it's starting to feel very similar to the way that I felt the day that I proposed to you, which was very much that feeling. The day we got married, I was just more like amped up.
Me too. I was just happy.
I wasn't like, ooh, like that was, I didn't feel that way the day we got married, but definitely the day we got engaged, I was a little all over the place.
It was really sweet.
But
that's the good thing about you proposed pretty early in our day.
Yeah.
And we're starting the induction process early in our day. So there's something to be said about when you have all those nerves, just starting it off.
Yeah.
I am so excited. And we have said, I mean, for years now, the years that we've been together and talking about babies, we've talked about how excited we are to meet our little ones. And we have dreamed about them for so long. And so this is not to take anything away from that very excited, wonderful, family expanding feeling. But we've also talked about how we are so used to being a unit and how there's, I think, a little bit of maybe a twinge of sadness in losing that time where you and I can just be together and be, And I have been open to with friends of like, I think there's a little mourning of the life that you have lived before. I think COVID kind of squishes that and kind of eases that place because our life has been so different for a while now.
Right.
And so obviously we don't know what this next phase is going to feel like, but we're already in a different phase because of COVID. And then we're going into another different phase where I think if we had been like out to dinner at our favorite restaurant tonight, it would feel more like jarring to go into this next part of things.
Yeah, I think that's right. And I think you're so right to at least acknowledge it. But at this moment, I'm not as worried about it.
Mm-hmm. The change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that we really are committed to keeping us, yes, we will be part of a larger family now, but we're still a unit inside of that family.
Yeah. Yeah. I really appreciate all the conversations we've had about that and the commitment, though I'm sure it'll get really hard at sometimes to be able to be with each other or prioritize taking time to connect, because that's really important.
Really important.
So, yeah. Anything else on your heart or mind?
Oh boy, I just can't wait to meet this little guy.
Yeah, I know.
God. I can't wait.
Oh, he's kicking too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You hear
he's
me,
like
buddy?
Way up here.
Yeah.
His little foot.
Very excited and very thankful to you. You have truly had a all over the place journey, and you've had so much grace inside of it. I love.
You were so sweet.
And I'm just blown away, and I'm so proud of you and so thankful.
Well, I feel very, very lucky to have you through this process, and you've been just such a wonderful support and really have felt like my teammate throughout this entire process. And I've said this a lot to my friends, but there is something so comforting about knowing that I have a partner who is at a point where he's really ready to be a father, be part of this process, is all in. It's really comforting, and I feel really thankful for that. And I empathize with your experience because I know there's been a lot of times where it's been hard to have to kind of sit and comfort, but watch me go through something.
Yeah.
And so I've been very thankful for your presence. And
I am ready to be able to be like, oh, I can do stuff now.
Yeah.
I've been doing stuff, but like directly do stuff with him, for him.
Yeah. Not just like carrying trays for me and
like
being huge support.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's roll those sleeves up and deal with this disgusting, dirty diaper.
Yeah, you're going to be great.
So are you.
Thank you, my love. So do you want to do like the fastest stats for this week? Just so we
keep the old pattern going.
Oh, we bumped up in melons.
Oh.
So week 38, this website says baby is about the size of a mini watermelon, 19 to 20 inches long, and weighs approximately 6.75 pounds.
And, book and the website are the same. Mini watermelon.
Oh my gosh, you guys, this never happened.
Ding, 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 ding. It's like Vegas.
One
One watermelon, two watermelon, three watermelon, baby! Baby is practicing for birth by turning from side to side, breathing in amniotic fluid, and sucking their thumb.
Yeah. And he's definitely like on one side mainly, but he will turn his whole body, closer toward facing, I think, my back. My OBGYN said he's starting to face more and more toward my back. For a while, he was kind of facing on the side. So that's really positive. Almost 3 centimeters dilated, right? And he's getting lower and lower. So all good things leading toward delivery.
Yep. Let's go, go, go.
Some really painful contractions. Not regular, but very painful contractions too. And this is only the start.
Yep. You got this.
Thank you. Baby's eye color is set, but will change potentially in the first year. And Dave has blue eyes and I have brown eyes. So we will see.
The battle of the eyes.
Battle of the eyes.
Mom stats, you may be able to breathe a little easier.
Yeah, but then all the anticipation is making me.
Yeah.
Great. Well, what an anticlimactic way to end.
I mean, I closed the book and then you made me open it again.
Well, I thought it was worth looking. So anyway.
All right. Well, here we go. You ready? Wait, What?
Oh, I thought we were doing I'm in labor.
No, I was just being like, we're pumped up.
Oh, yeah.
We're ready to go.
I thought that was just your labor voice.
It can be.
I don't think it needs to be.
Okay, good. I wasn't planning on it. That was more like podcast, like build suspense and like build to a like climactic ending.
Well, we are going to go on probably the most wild ride of our entire lives tomorrow. So
we don't need to force it.
More to come.
More to come for sure.
Goodbye. Till tomorrow. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Week by Week. Please subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on Instagram at Week by Week Podcast and visit our blog at weekbyweekpodcast.com. Check out the show notes for more information about our guests and additional resources I used and referenced during this episode. This podcast was produced during the COVID-19 pandemic and recorded remotely. Our show today was produced by me, Celeste Busa, and Dave Hill, and edited by Douglas Sarine and Colleen Beasley. Week by Week is a Gumption Pictures production.